It's the 25th anniversary of the launch of the Lange 1 and several other watches in 1994. And I'm here with Peter Chong, who is the co-founder of Deployant.com, but his history with watches is much more complicated than that. He is a collector turned journalist, become expert, and a much-loved member of the Lange owners' family.
Thank you.
Peter, what started your love of Lange? Where did you first come across A.Lange Söhne?
I first started looking at watches, of course, and looking around at mechanical watches. I started with other brands, and then when the brand first came out, actually I did not notice it until my retailer called me and said, "Look, you got to look at this watch because it's very interesting. It's German, and it's very beautiful." And when they first showed me the watch, it was the Lange 1. Actually, the whole series was there, the Lange 1, and I'm still kicking myself that I didn't buy the polymerized tourbillon because it was quite inexpensive in those days, and it was quite available. I looked at the Lange 1, and my first reaction was that, oh, this is an ugly watch, because it's not symmetrical. It's kind of like lopsided to one side, but I flipped over to see the movement, and as a watch lover of those days, for us, it's about the movement. The movement. So look at the movement, and I couldn't sleep for the next week. So I went back and I bought the watch.
You had a week of sleepless nights,
yes,
and then you had to buy.
Because I dreamt about the watch every night, and I had to go back and buy the watch. And of course, with a little adaptation and acclimatization, then you grow to love the dial of the watch, because everything about it is kind of perfect. The way the asymmetry is symmetrical in a sense, because we then notice that if you rotate the watch 90 degrees, it is actually symmetrical, because then the date offsets with the power reserve at the second hand. And it kind of is symmetrical, but you need to look again.
So the watch world in 1994, which you knew very well then and very well now, how did it respond to the Lange 1?
I think the response was mixed. To some people, it was beautiful. To some people, it was like I had experienced. It's kind of lopsided. It's not really that nice. And a lot of the very, very traditional collectors looked at the Saxonia first.
And you said when you saw that collection in 1994, you now kick yourself that you didn't buy which watch?
The polymerized tourbillon.
The polymerized tourbillon.
Yeah.
And what was it about that caught your eye?
I like the watch a lot. I can feel that it's not a watch which is just made by somebody. Anonymous somebody. It's actually created and loved to life by a watchmaker.
It would have been an amazing investment.
It would have been amazing, but at that time Lange was new. Nobody knew anything about Lange, and we were all afraid. So we bought something which was a bit safer.
It would have taken a lot of courage to invest that amount of money in owning one of those in what was then, as you say, a slightly unknown quantity.
Yes.
From A.Lange.
Oh, it's totally unknown. Nobody knew anything. And I started doing quite a bit of research, and that's how it led to me starting up the first informal website for A.Lange Söhne. And at that time, they did not have a website. So that's how I began. I started with this, and what was interesting was that Blumlein, for some reason, I don't know, I don't think he read the internet at the time, but somebody told him that there was this guy in Singapore who has written a website for the brand, and he told the retailer, Sincere Watch, that the next time he is in Singapore, he wants to meet up with me. So they called me, I had dinner with him, and then he said, "Don't worry, we support you, and we will provide you with the information so that you can continue, but we will not be involved in the internet at that point in time." So that's how we started in this long collaboration. It was probably 1997. Yeah.
And you met Günter Blumlein?
I met Günter Blumlein several times.
What kind of a man was he, both as a man and as a watchmaker?
The impression is that he's a very strong character, very, very strong character, a fantastic leader, because fantastic leader. Everybody seems to kind of like just follow his lead in everything. He was a perfectionist, I feel.
And so he had that watchmaker's eye for detail.
He was an incredible person. He had the eye for detail. He had a really, really interesting way of communicating, which I think was very important in those days, because it's very hard to communicate a brand coming from East Germany in those days.
And talking of the good old days, the Lange one that you yourself bought, what made you buy it, and how has it been owning it? What has it felt like?
it's a proud ownership, of course, and I quickly bought a few more. So I have 5 Langes now. So it's just, I don't know. It's something which is very special. So you feel it. You like the watch. You like the people, because I think the people are very special too. Having visited the factory, meeting other people, other than Mr. Blumlein, other people as well in the manufacture and in the brand. And there's a special family feeling. So it's kind of like a small brand with a family feeling.
A small brand with a family feeling.
Yes. And yet it is not family owned.
It's not family owned. And with the watches themselves, you must be one of the best informed people in the world around what the owners of A.Lange Söhne watches feel about their watches. So can you answer, who owns them, what kind of person owns them, and what pleasures do they get from their watches?
The people who own them, from my experience, I've known quite a lot in my life. They come from all walks of life. But of course, there are also a lot of rich people who own the watches. But the underlying theme, which kind of like cuts through, is that the people love detail, the people love mechanical watches, and the people fall in love with the brand because of both what the watch is and the people is. And Blumlein always reminded everybody, we are not the heroes. The watch is the hero.
The watch
is the hero.
Peter Chong, pour le mérite. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a wonderful interview.
Thank you.